Right, okay. Another Imperial Diplomacy video. Today we're going to be talking about the relative strength of the powers on the 2.2 patch with the precores in North Germany and the changes to the sea tiles up in northern NA. We're going to be assessing basically how well would each power perform, or does this power perform, assuming that we have a strong player on the power. So basically, like if we put someone maybe high up in the IDR list, or someone you may know, on this power, what would we expect their performance to be like?
So the first power we're going to start off with, I think, is Abyssinia, just going along in alphabetical order. And Abyssinia as a power, I think it's a four center. It's a four center start. These powers are always going to be weaker than their colonial counterparts, just because you kind of have less potential for rapid growth and expansion.
Yeah, and you also just have that much less leverage over the entire board state, right? And that's like one of the most important things, especially if we're playing a normal game of Imperial Diplomacy where people may not be balancing the board correctly. It can be very hard, even if you're a strong player, to try and rupture relationships on the other side of a board with just press. You need units to do it, really. And when you're playing a four center, you don't start with those units.
Yeah, I mean, Abyssinia is a power as well. You have such a low exposure to the colonials on the board, so I feel like the problem for them is really exacerbated. We also talked, well, I also talked about it in the Abyssinia video we did, but Abyssinia is a power with the least amount of dots within 4 moves, which really means they struggle to find their VSCC moving into the mid and late game. Any 4 center power does, but for Abyssinia, the problem, it seems a lot greater.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think to some extent it does work out a little bit in their favor because they have that fewer neighbors starting so close to them, and which is indicated by the lack of available dots. It does mean that you can often get a bit of a safer start off, especially if you control your critical tiles in Red Sea um, and near Central Africa. Um, it basically means that usually you're going to get a good start. Like a decent player, I would expect to get a start as Abyssinia. So they definitely can't be one of the weaker four centers because some of the weaker four centers, like you can't even start half the time.
Yeah, Abyssinia's double is really easy as well, and I think any power that can safely double, you're moving into year 2 with 8 dots, you have a lot of opportunity, and I think you're able to generate quite a lot of play in the African triple down south and towards Ottomans. You have some
Yeah,
good lines for growth, and you can kind of get off the ground.
100%. And like just historically, like when I think of Abyssinia performances, even in the recent patches, like for instance, JPM was playing Abyssinia in a game I was angeling, and he got a good start, good performance, right up until the end game, where unfortunately was cut short. But like it just indicated to me that like this is a power. If you put someone strong on, they'll have a game.
Yeah, I played Abyssinia, and I didn't have a game, but yeah.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
There you go. The rule, it stands. I'm thinking like around C tier. I think when we have other powers like the colonials, which are just like so much stronger. I feel like it can't be too high, but also it doesn't seem that bad for a 4 center start. Like low
Yeah, it may
C
seem a bit
tier.
awkward us putting after speaking so highly for power in C tier, but that's literally for me just because the other powers, like the larger powers, are so much better. Like even with the lower VSCC requirement, the smaller powers are just objectively worse, almost for winning the game, and that's why all the four centers are going to be edging around the lower boundaries of the tier list.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna whack in C tier then. Ajuuraan, very close to Abyssinia.
Yep, but a much more interesting game, I think, because of access to the high sea stuffs, which I think are one of the more fun parts of IMDb.
Oh yeah, and I actually think Ajuuraan is a quite a strong power because I
I
think
agree.
INO is really underplayed. I think you often don't see many people playing towards INO. And
Um, I think these days, like I've seen a lot of really interesting Ajuuraan INO games. I've seen India's, I've seen Australia's, I've seen them just play very classically, pushing down towards Madagascar and around into Cape Co.
Yeah, I think it's nice for Ajuuraan,
Um,
saying that like colonials, like with
I
the South
agree.
Atlantic, you often see it's like very busy, and I think that
Yep,
INO,
I know games for the colonials, like it's very rare. Like I can think of a few games where like the Dutch have gone crazy in India, or the French have had an Indian game. In B12V, France had a very strong India position, which is
oh
obviously
yeah,
very funny.
I was like
Um,
B5G, Portugal had all of INO, like
yeah,
everything.
that was an edge case, but
Yeah,
beyond disgusting position.
yeah,
But yeah, I think on average, Adran is well suited, especially if you can get a strong start off the ground, and they have the space to play in Africa to control a sea tile that doesn't get contested, and that means you can get so much more out of it.
yeah. Ajuuraan's double, very easy.
Yep, I agree.
I think it's pretty free. 5 dots,
I
very
think
nice.
sometimes their year two can be a little bit touch and go with how exposed some of their centers are. Like, for instance, if they go for a Sakalava 01, which sometimes gets played, then that gets really easily sniped. Zanzibar kind of similar. Seychelles can even be targeted in some crazy openings.
Yeah,
So I feel like, it's not as if they're a power without risk, but again, I would expect a strong player to get a position on this power, and I think it's a power well suited to winning. I think in B2E we had an Ajuran winning,
yeah,
and I think that demonstrated just how strong their position was and the way they were able to influence the board
yeah. I think they
just by
get.
virtue of being in Diner.
I think they get around the issue that a lot of these small powers had. I mean, we talked about it on Abyssinia, but because their access to the high seas and all these really big sea tiles connected to dot dense areas, like you have these avenues into India and South Africa, it means that they're more easily able to like explode out in mid and
Yeah,
late game and take like a
100%.
25 center position to like a 40 center position. They can do
Yeah,
that so much more easily than like an Abyssinia can because of
yeah, there was a
these.
crazy one in Gansen Bluken, which was very much that idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I would. Where are you leaning for this? Because
I
it's definitely in B tier or above for me. I think it that much is certain,
I would
but
probably say B. I think it's fair. We can move it around just
I think it's like
because.
at the boundary between A and B, right? A power that you can definitely win on. I'd expect a strong player to definitely get a great position out of it most of the time. I think it's obviously not colonial levels of strength, and there definitely are problems with the power.
I think
Like if
one of the
you're,
fallings is with because like France is a strong power and Portugal's a strong power.
yeah, and
Um,
then like you see all sorts of like cursed France Portugal stuff, and it's very easy just to never get a game if the colonials are lockstep and Ottomans and Abyssinia don't fight. Like that's just a simple like two-tone set of alliances that are somewhat common, and suddenly your game becomes much harder to get off the ground.
yeah. Um, I'm leaning towards B, but we can.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I'm happy with B.
Athapasca.
Athapasca. So
So
this is obviously a power that's getting changed, so we don't have any data on how the new map affects it.
yeah, so
Talk
Bay
me
of
through.
Lions are new. Well, before I would say that Athapasca is really quite a weak power. You have Inuit, who's always generally pretty strong, and you're very much sandwiched in between Inuit and especially because you Inuit is such a common alliance. It's so easy for them you just get squeezed out between them and never really get a game.
Hmm.
I think
I
this
think
change will help them.
it's really tough for me to say because I think they're definitely going to be able to do a lot more, a lot faster. Just the fact that they're able to go Kree from Chipewyan and never have the risk of having Chipewyan dotted really early is kind of like very interesting. One of their biggest problems really was that Inuits, if they wanted to, could just suffocate Athapasca, give them close to zero play, and kind of just wait on Ute to do the logical thing and take a bunch of space and to maybe take a bunch of dots. Um,
I actually think
so
that's
yeah.
worse now than it was before because there was this tile before like Mitchif, Pichu, whatever, between
Hmm.
Kree and Chip, which was, in my opinion, a really key tile for kind of Inuit and Atha to break the stalemate line. Like now, Nunavut, you just put a fleet in Nunavut and a fleet in
Yeah,
Salik. Like
it's definitely
can't play
possible.
the
I
game.
don't disagree, but is that worse than what it was like before, where Hudson Bay was a single tile and then Salik Nunavut? And what are you supposed to do? You
Yeah,
never
I'd
get
say
Hudson
no.
Bay control ever again. It's like,
I think you can justify building a fleet a little bit more. Inuit can't just go Hudson Bay, say like I want to go
Yeah,
free or something.
like that's the thing, right? So you're able to get the fleet out without it threatening Inuit. So it's very much pitching it can be a lot. It's a lot easier, right? It's
I mean,
basically like
that's kind of true. So like, what's a fleet in Bay of Chippewa doing? I
no,
guess it's
yeah,
just sitting
you
there.
build a fleet defensively, right? Like it's just like well, I want to keep bouncing here because I don't want you pressuring my centers.
Yeah.
Perfectly valid thing to say in a relationship. So yeah, where do I think they're at? I mean, I still think this power fucking sucks. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, me too. I think it's awful. I think it's pretty bad.
I think these are buffs definitely, but like I still see this power dying if Inuit or Ute decides that Athapasca really shouldn't exist. And it can sound kind of contrite to say that, oh yeah, well if people's neighbors decide that this power dies, then the power dies. That's just diplomacy. For Athapasca specifically, because of how reliant they are on two neighbors, it's kind of hard. Like if they don't have a third or fourth power that is interested in helping them to balance out the strength of the others. France does not care about the strength of Inuit if they're working with England because they can just fight you both.
I think it's tough as well because as Inuit, I've played a couple Inuit games now, and Inuit Ute is just so much more attractive than Inuit Atha.
It's so natural, right?
It's so
Like
natural because
you
your
do the
VSCC
armies,
is
I do the
so
fleets.
yeah, and
I can go
VSCC
wherever to find
you can
VSCC.
both
You need
hit
to
it,
find them.
yeah. And
Yeah.
where's Atha? Like you Atha, where's Atha finding VSCC?
I mean, okay, goes so 2 games of Utah, right?
Okay.
V1 2V where they went crazy, and then
Pumpkin Cup.
your Inuit longfall game,
Yes.
which was the Pumpkin Cup, and
It
yeah,
won't be
like
getting
it,
shown on screen.
but kind of goes without saying, like, what did Athapasca do in a successful Athapasca Ute game? Oh yeah, it was just Inuit, but slightly worse.
Yeah, they
Like,
became
they
Inuit.
just did Inuit things, but pink. And while that's very cool, it does not a good power make.
I think it's got to be F. I just
Yeah.
when was the last time you've seen this power make VSCC? But
Well, okay, I swear they did in Pumpkin Cup, but they lost. If I
sketch.
put a okay, but coming back to the original definition, if we put a strong player on Athapasca, how likely is it that they have a great game? And I think the answer is not very. Like
No.
in the IDR game, we had a very strong player on Athapasca, and he died, kind of without a fight.
It's kind of well, it's tough to generate play, I think. And if you put a strong player onto a power, the stronger that the power is, the more that a good player is going to be able to like generate play, make things happen. But it just seems very simplistic, the game plan,
Yeah,
and kind of not in a good way.
yeah, and the power can die in 0-1. So any power that can die in 0-1, kind of out of your control because all the moves happen at the same time. You can just realize, oh right, I'm dead in spring 0-1. It's like you can't possibly say this power is a very strong power. So yeah, I'm fine with F.
All right. Maybe it's gonna have a friend because next up is Austria.
So this is a classic S tier power. So all of the, unlike the rest of the four center regionals, Austria has the ability to control the entire board by being next to the colonials, and that means that they are able to do literally whatever they want with zero consequences. I
Yeah,
think the fact that they're next to Ottomans is really cool because that's a power that you can control a lot as Austria by mind controlling their neighbors to attack them. I think that the power has no issues surviving the early game, mid game, or late game. In fact, it is almost impossible not to hit more than 32 dots as this power.
and it
Um,
just makes you wonder like, what are is there even a balance team?
yeah, actually true.
Because we're like
And like, if
yet to see them.
by the way, like it's crazy that this power got a buff in the new map because like, what were they thinking? Yeah, I mean, this power is just insane,
But not in a good
insanely
way.
bad. Yeah, no, it's not. So Austria, I mean, I did a 20-minute video on the bloody topic. This power is not good, and the problems with this power never starts in Spring 01 and don't stop until the end of the game and even past it when you have to think about the fact that you wasted 3 months of your life playing a power that you knew couldn't win. Um, 3 Austria wins over the entirety of the Imp Dip, sort of as long as Imp Dips existed. Like it is criminal, right? Okay, 3.5 because they did take a Blitz game. Um,
Did they? Damn.
Yeah, Olio took his blitz game.
Oh yeah.
26% as
Oh
Austria.
yeah, that was a really nice game from Ollie, actually.
It was a nice position. By the way, 26 centers, that position was
Not
not winning. Like, it's
famously
criminal.
not 32. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I think this is the easiest, this is the worst power in the game. Easy F tier, even with the new buffs. I think the new buffs are really interesting. Obviously, I was a major proponent for them. Um, I think they'll make the power a little bit more flexible, and we'll see maybe that flexibility will demonstrate itself in some unique ways to play the power. Like maybe we'll see an Austria Ottomans actually hit late game because of their ability to build northern fleets. Maybe Sweden will be less likely to grief them. Maybe Poland will be less likely to grief them. But in my opinion, remains to be seen. If you put a strong player on an Austria in any game, I would give it 80-20 that they have a pretty miserable time.
I think it's just tough, right? Because all of your neighbors are kind of incentivized in some way to attack you. Like
Yeah.
France with their armies in Europe, and then it's just very easy for
Yeah.
everyone to be like,
It's like, oh,
let's
if
get
France is playing
distracted.
France, Spain, you lose. If France is playing England, France, you lose. If France is not playing it and it's like some England, Spain or some shit or PFN, great. Spain gets too strong and you lose. If Ottomans don't get stabbed by Safavids, you lose. If Russia and Poland stay allied for the whole game, you lose. And it's like, I'm playing a power where I need to control every relationship between every major power on the board to not lose. And even if I don't lose, I still don't win. And it's like, what am I doing?
I'll take counterpoint. There, if you get into the mid game and you get to like 12 centers, it's tough. It's tough to die. I think.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think if you're looking for a
Um,
decent position, I think it's really hard to win. But for a power to have a
yeah,
decent game on, we've seen a lot of them,
well,
and I think it's. I
yeah,
think
you
it's
could definitely have a middling game, but like for me,
But
can
that's
you
why
win
we're
on this
here. We're
power?
not here to
No.
talk about it. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
There you go. To the bottom tier it goes. And the elephant for Ayutthaya.
Ayutthaya. I think this is a really cool power. I think it avoids a lot of the traditional four center problems by being in a very dot dense region of the map, having access to a wide variety of powers, right? Like two 5 center regionals, three colonials, four colonials with the English CTAR changes. I think it's a really interesting power, and I think it's a power that I've seen a lot of strong players perform very well on, and I think we'll continue to see that as the number of games increases in the current iteration of the map.
Mughals has 6 dots now. Bro's been living under a rock.
Yeah, okay, fine. A
Yeah,
6 center
super.
and a 5.
Whatever. Um, Ming's kind of weak. I think the Dutch is quite weak, though I guess we'll get onto it. I know you kind of have a slightly different opinion to me on this, but I
Yeah,
think we've been seeing lots of Dutches get curb stomped. It's a very hard power
true,
to play. Um,
does.
we've been
Yeah.
seeing
And I think
Ming's
in a
well
normal
most of the
Imp
time.
Wave game, yeah, 100%. Like,
Mm.
they're next to two of the trickiest powers to play in the game. If you put the average player on Ming or the Netherlands, they're going to blow up. It's just very difficult to play these powers.
Yeah, they have
And that
really
helps you
nice
playing IE.
lines. They have really nice lines O2, like
Yeah.
O3. Like they have even into mid to late game, like they have the fleet play. Like I've seen so many like NPO games, INO games. If you can get the armies rolling into like
Yeah,
China,
Army
India,
Tire. Yeah,
it's just yeah, army tire by the way. I think it's very I think it's a very sick way to play. Like you play
I
some
agree.
IU Dutch. I think it's super
Yeah,
nice with
yeah.
both. You're just like bouncing the tuna forever or something. Um,
Super interesting power. In my opinion, this avoids the curse of most of the four centers. This is a four center that can win the game. If you put a strong player on it, I would expect them to do at least well. Um,
I think Ayutthaya is
and
better than Ajuuraan. That's
I
my. I don't know if it's a hot
think
take.
they're exactly equivalent. That's my
Okay.
honest opinion. I feel like
Yeah.
dynamically, I think they work out the exact same in terms of their ability to get a good start, their ability to play decent mid game, their access to various win conditions by the high seas,
Actually, yeah. I think
their
the
ability to
access to win
contest INO.
conditions is. I think it's probably slightly better, but I think it's slightly easier to die on Ayutthaya. Um,
Yeah, definitely
if
possible
it's
to die.
Ming Mughals or strong Netherlands, like really
Yeah,
strong Netherlands
strong
in
Netherlands.
a
Oh my
power
god,
set,
it's like
it's miserable.
unplayable.
It
Yeah.
is miserable. It is unplayable for them.
Um,
Yeah, I'm happy to put it in B tier for now, though. I think these
yep.
guys could be promoted, and it's upon who is this?
That.
Is that Bornu?
That is
It is
Bornu.
Bornu. This power's not in the game anymore. Moving on to England then.
Okay, England. So, in my opinion, all the colonials are S tier, which you're going to disagree with. I think many people will.
I don't think
But
the Dutch
I
are S
think
tier.
of them, I think England is indisputably S tier.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, England's a good power.
Insanely strong power, access to some of the greatest regions on the map in New England and Caribbean. I say this every time I bring up the bloody power.
I think this is like
But also their
okay,
Europe
deja
game.
vu.
And then also like India, kind of miserable, but like it's still, if you could just rat it out and get 7 dots, that's still a significant
India
portion of
is miserable.
VSBC.
I have to say,
Yeah,
I've played England recently, and it's not super fun.
but you still ended that game with a what 7 center India position?
Yeah, but I
Like,
don't remember. No, I'm kidding.
uh, even
But that
but this is the
was
thing: we're analyzing the powers as if the goat is playing them. So power's very strong. Every
uh,
time I've seen a decent player play England, they have done very well. With few exceptions, I think this power is, yeah, arguably, definitely contending. I think easily in
yeah.
the top three.
I think it's
Um,
colonials generally, like you're playing a colonial, you have crazy opportunity for growth, but you're kind of taking that with a pinch of salt that you have to play quite accurately and you're quite small in a lot of regions, so it can just be easy to die. But on
yeah,
England, it's like you're not. Are you dying in Europe? You've got to be playing
yeah,
really badly to ever die in Europe. And even
yeah. I mean, it does happen, but like it's.
you're the strongest
Like
in the
this is a thing,
Caribbean.
right? Like we can hand wave a lot of the problems of England away by saying, assuming that a very decent player is playing them. Like it's kind of hard to, if you really know your stuff and you know how to play the correct bounces and you know how to manage things like the Portugal relationship and working out when it's
Yeah,
optimal to kill the Netherlands. Like this power is very strong.
I think
Just objectively,
France Netherlands is probably where you lose because it
there are some
is have a
unplayable
strong
dynamics for
France. I
you.
think if you have a strong France, even if you're playing uh, England France,
England, France,
yeah,
yeah,
I think it can be rough because if they play well
yeah.
and yeah,
But again, like that's your responsibility to manage the strength of your allies. And England has so much leverage over France, especially in places like the Caribbean where you just have more cores and better access to their dots.
yeah,
So yeah, I think this is an S tier. I'm not even sure how much there really is to say about it.
yeah.
Sort of dive into why England is so good in an England video, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, you have
S tier
corner
power.
position. You're like a colonial with a corner position, and it's like
Yeah,
this.
corner position in three regions of a map, by the way. Like
Yeah.
corner in the Caribbean, corner in Europe, and corner in New England.
Hmm.
So yeah, absolutely disgusting power.
Yeah. Inuit.
Inuit is not before England in the alphabet.
Well, what in Inuit's next? A, B, C, D, E, F.
You're leaving
Inuit.
this in.
Yeah, no, I am. Hey, blame the person that made the tier list, not me.
Okay, well, Winuit. I think the power is quite a nice one.
Winuit. Don't even think
Yeah,
I called it.
it's a nice power.
It's a nice power, and it's so fun. Oh, it's such a nicely like designed power in the dynamics as well.
I think if you're ever wondering, like, I want to win a game, but I want to play like a unique game, Inuit is the go-to. Like, if you play an Inuit game, you're gonna do some shit.
Yeah.
Like in my Inuit game, my probably one of the crazier games of Inuit played, really, given that I was in Nads in year two. The power has so much like capacity for shenanigans, but it's also just a really solid corner position on the map. The ability to kind of pick and choose who to work with is really nice. Obviously, there are dynamics that can be forced that are really like not great for you. Like if you somehow manage to bait the hardest Ute-Athapasca I've ever seen. Um,
But I think to do that, you'd have to be
you'd
exceptionally bad at the game, right?
you'd have to bugger it up to get stabbed by an
Really
Athapasca
have
who
to
built
fuck it up.
Army Chipuyan.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to really,
Hey,
but
I survived quite a lot
thank
of
God that
years.
never happened.
No, that wouldn't. But well, okay. Firstly, fuck you. Secondly, I think Inuit does have, I think Inuit does have some tricky dynamics to face, and I think a lot of the dynamics they face are quite common. Obviously, Pasca isn't, but EF is
Yeah,
one very
yeah,
good,
okay.
and two, you just lose pretty much. Like
Yeah, well,
you can
okay. I
survive,
think
right? You can survive if you're having a good Asia game, and you can just hold
it,
Labrador Sea forever. But
a lot of it is literally just I'm going to sit here and hope that one of you two stabs the other. And in a normal wave game, that is not a guarantee. People will play blind alliances because they get the dopamine hit out of doing it.
what do you mean normal wave games? Like, oh, that happened to me. I should have nightmares. The walls of text I would send them every phase. I wish I never savaged. I was like, this is the phase. This is the phase.
Yeah, no, my heart bleeds for you. It
Okay,
really does.
okay. I think
Um,
strong Toku, which obviously there's some Asia changes, so I think Toku's a bit weaker now, but a strong Toku is really difficult to manage as Inuit.
and yeah, if you have a weak Toku, then strong Qing, it's like, yeah, it's not much better as a position.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Yeah, I
I
think the
I
Asian
do
games
still
can be
think,
hard.
yeah, it's a difficult game to play. I don't think it's a bad game to play. Like, I think
No.
it's a position you have to go into with a bit of teeth and sort of be willing to shenanigan your way into a
Oh
position.
yeah. Yeah, just like
But if
dotting for Nivix or Sahalayan, and then you're just kind of building the position. And you have a corner position. Like it's only 2 dots, but it's very much a corner position, unless you let it
yeah,
not become a corner position by
yeah,
like
and it's
a
quite
strong NPO.
relatively easy to have an underbuilt Asia, as crazy as it is to say, given that you only have 2 dots there, just by nature of the tiles. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, I think this is the definition of an A tier power. This is a power that can get a nice position in a lot of cases, has good winning chances, and I think the number one thing that we haven't talked about is like this is a flexible power. Like you can pick and choose your way to win as Inuit.
yeah.
Um,
In my Inuit, when I got to Kyushu, I was like in Kyushu and also I don't like island or something.
Yeah, by the end of my Inuit game, I was in South America. I had like 2 dots in South America with a
Yeah, that
called
was
Galapagos. It's just
a
like,
very sick position. Yeah,
yeah,
I
very
think
cool
A tier.
power.
I can agree more. I think it's perfect definition of an A tier power. France is next.
Yes, and I think this is another fairly gimme decision. Uh, just below Austria, I would say, in F tier for France.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, just awful position. Has no ability to hit VSCC ever.
I mean Cayenne, like how you ever even holding this colony, right?
Exactly, like
And then you
that's
lose.
the
It's like if you lose Cayenne, you lose. That's like the
yeah. Like
that's like the
I don't know
big
why they
problem.
added this lose condition to a power that is otherwise basically a perfect colonial. Like it's kind of funny to say that, but like in terms of what France has, it has access to I'd say most regions on the map, with the exception of East Asia. Its colonies are really good, with the exception of maybe Cayenne. But even Cayenne, I've seen play, especially if you can link it to your Caribbean position with the Guadeloupe Precore. Like at the end of the day, Cayenne is 2 tiles away from that Precore, which means that if you ever do get a Caribbean position, linking it with Cayenne is not difficult.
Yeah, it I guess it depends, right? Because if you're playing England France, which is kind of common, very good, I think you do lose it a lot of the time. And you
Yeah.
kind of you lose it mostly if the
Although
difference is 5, they just take it.
IDR game, EF, they didn't lose Cayenne.
I
Um,
I, I can't say I've not looked at that game.
but
I
like,
mean, I
yeah,
guess
I
yeah,
think
I see a point.
outside of it, like
But who cares?
you.
At
By
the
the
end of
way,
the day,
like
it's
EF
one
is really
dot.
good. EF is really good. FN is really good. FS
Oh,
is really good.
bro,
And
FN.
FP is hard to play, but in my French solo, I played FP and it was very good. Like
FP.
there's no colonial relationship that is like bad for France if you play it.
You have to be yeah. I think the only thing is in NA, which is where a lot of Frances go wrong, is that because England's always behind you, you have to be
Yeah,
very careful.
yes, I'd agree with that. I think a lot of playing France is realizing a lot of playing England or France in EF specifically is making sure you don't lose the game by being lazy. Um, I don't want to reference any ongoing games as that would break the rules, but there is a game right now where exactly that happened, where France just let themselves get stabbed sideways, and you can lose the game from an insanely winning position. I mean, B2E was this, right? Like
B2E was
France had stabilized in a good position, got stabbed, insta dead. Um, but
But that's like one
kind of hard to let
dynamic.
that happen.
Like you
Yeah.
just don't let it happen, and then Europe is super nice. Yeah.
And yeah, Europe, by the way, like you're starting next to like all directions for Europe are viable. I've seen early into Spain, early into England, obviously many early across the Rhine and into Austria. Med games, Northern Europe games.
I can't remember which game, but they connected their West Africa to
Yeah, that
Europe.
was. I can't remember which game that was either.
No.
B12V had a crazy France game. This game was like so unique in many ways, but like they had the entire Mediterranean, all the way to Smyrna and Levant.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's sick.
but yeah, really cool
S
power. Oh,
S
obvious
tier
S tier.
power. S tier. Congo. Just kind of tough. It's not. It's
We're,
kind of
we're
tough.
back into the land of a four-center regional. I
Yes.
was always so hyped talking about like all the really good colonials. And it's like, yes, I'm gonna play a power that might get a game.
Who do you have first on your sign up list? Congo.
Congo. I think, I think when you're thinking four-center regional, Congo is the most generic option, and I think
Hmm.
it's basically because of that they're a C tier power. And I don't know if you agree with that, just
C
off
tier.
the cuff, but
Yeah. It's like,
power has some play to it. Power can win a game.
or is
Power's really
maybe
hard to get a
is this maybe
position.
a D? Is this maybe a D tier? What do I like about
Actually, yeah,
Congo?
I was kind of thinking about it. Like, what would I rather play, Abyssinia or Congo? The answer is Abyssinia every single time because I don't trust colonials to play
Like
competently in a
like
normal wave game.
strong port.
Yeah,
I I've seen a lot of Congos crush West this Dutch colony.
yeah.
I mean,
But even that doesn't feel so good because then you crush the Dutch West Africa colony, and then you have Portugal to yourself, and then Portugal to your west, and somehow you also get Portugal to your east, and you get like a playable position that's also dead in the water at 20 centers.
yeah,
That can happen with any of the African regionals, but I think it's saddest for Congo because they're constantly dealing with this tension in the south.
yeah. I mean, it's funny because you do have SAO play, but you never really see it happen.
It does happen every now and then, but yeah, it's just
I
I think
think
there's a few things they could do to this power, like quality of life changes that would make it a little bit stronger.
yeah, I think it's
Like
worse
Saint
than
Helena
Abyssinia.
being a Congolese prequel could be kind of fun, just giving you the sort of
Yeah,
Seychelles to this
it's like
SAO.
Seychelles is. It's weird that Seychelles is and St. Helena isn't really. Like
Yeah,
when you think about the dynamic. Yeah, I think D tier. It's like Abyssinia, but you're less safe, and you have all the same issues.
yeah,
Next up is Mapuche.
which is not after Congo. Wait,
Like,
is it? It is. Oh my God, I've never done the alphabet before.
oh,
Okay, but this gets
that's a good
cut
start.
out. This gets cut out.
You'd like to think that. Mapuche,
um,
a rare good four center.
yes, agreed. I think this power has so many things going for it. Like it's kind of hard to say that they're like any other force center. Access to two continents, access to a high seas tile off the bat, which by the way is just really good if you have access to high seas. Corner
Yeah,
position on the continent where they start. Um,
yeah. I think if you
no
think about,
real crazy colonial dynamics to be concerned about.
yeah, I think if you think about like the four centers' classic issue is that they're getting stuck and they find it really hard to find growth. Like having a high seas core is literally like the perfect solution. They
Hmm.
just have so much access to so many dots.
And like, if INO is underplayed, who thinks about SPO? Like, even in late
Yeah.
game scenarios where people are really playing these tiles, SPO is not a tile where Mapuche feels unsafe in.
I mean, they realize it. They dropped it down to three slots.
Like the power definitely can sometimes die. I think if there are competent Guarani and Aymara players, then yeah. But in an average game of Imp Dip where people are kind of a little bit unsteady, I'd expect a strong player to get a good position on Mapuche 9 times out of 10. A winning, like a position looking for a win.
I think.
Now that said, when was the last Mapuche win?
Don't know. I know they won ice cream, though that was a while ago now. Surely, I think. Well, the issue with Mapuche is that their South American position isn't. They struggle to mobilize armies north in
Yeah, the
a
tiles are
way
really
that
weird.
neither Aymara or Guarani ever have issues with pumping out armies anywhere.
The other issue too is that like a lot of the times Mapuches can get strong positions, but like winning the game, it's kind of like well, it's just straight up difficult, right? Like you're oftentimes getting outraced by stronger powers on the board, and then your power's kind of sitting at 23 dots, and it's a nice position, but England's on 61 dots, and you just lose the game. It's like,
Yeah, it's like you're having a good Indonesia game, and then it's like you meet a strong IU because you're killing the Dutch and Portugal, or there's a strong Spain
yeah,
after you've diced up Aymara together, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Uh,
So I do think it's above C tier, just because I honestly think we haven't seen many strong players take this power on in the recent patches. It's a very popular power.
I think it might be A tier. Strong.
I don't think I can put it in the same tier as Inuit in good faith. Because I can think of so many good Inuit games.
Yeah.
I struggle to think of really good Mapuche games. Like I've seen them, I know they must exist.
Yeah. Okay. B tier, like similar to Ayutthaya, Ajuuraan. I think that seems right. They live in the same box in my mind.
Yeah,
Ming.
Ming. Yeah, this one.
When you see a good
It's
Ming
like
game, by the way, my
it
God,
is. It doesn't look like the most disgusting thing you've ever seen.
it's
Like
like
you just
how
look
is
at
this power allowed to exist?
like what am I even looking at? And then you see a bad Ming game, and then you realize that you actually have seen this game 400 times in the last
Every
wave.
minute.
It's like, wow. um, yeah, strong Ming games look insane. But then if your power is really strong, if they get off the ground, then no one should let you get off the ground ever. And so then Ming kind of just dies. It's
Yeah.
so difficult to get a good game on this power. I've never played him. I think I would get a decent game, but I can also see why people
Nah, I don't think you
struggle
would. I
to.
think you would get curb stomped.
Right, but
That's usually how things
um,
move. I just really like
that said,
everyone just
strong.
takes
I've
a
seen
little
strong
nibble,
play.
you know? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ayutthaya has such nice lines. Like you're in Udong, you have like you're building two armies onto Don King, right? With how the tiles are
yeah.
laid out. And it's
And
just
then
like
Portugal just randomly supports them into like Hanoi or something. It's like, or whatever the new name
and
for it
Mings
is.
do often I think they often overplay, like they just hard hit Portugal for no reason and then blow up.
Yeah. Or they try and kill Toku too early, and then Qing just has a million armies in their face. Or they six enter army focused Mughals, by the way. Like,
Yeah, also every power around them is strong. It's like you have Portugal, Dutch, Ayutthaya, Toku, Qing, Mughals, and all of these
yeah.
powers are so they're so playable. It's
But I think a strong player in an average lobby, like a strong player in a slightly weaker lobby, oh my god, power looks gross. Strong player in an average lobby, I think they definitely have good potential to get a game off the ground.
yeah, I think
I
it's a bit of
think
a coin flip.
the more I think about it, like Ming isn't a bad power. It's just hard to play. Um, Given that the power has so much potential, it's hard for me to justify putting him in C, which is where my heart initially led.
I would I would put them in C because I think they blow up so much. I think even a strong player like even a strong player
When it's
blows
a,
up, quite a lot.
yeah,
We see it all
true,
the time.
true.
Bro,
I've
I've blown
been
up
practicing
so
this
many.
ethos.
Yeah,
um,
I've blown up a lot of games. Well, I'd say C.
C tier, huh? I wouldn't feel comfortable putting them in C.
All right, we go B, but B's getting a bit congested.
Bang them on the end of B, and we'll see where
Okay,
the heart's leading.
this is Safavids. No, Mughals. Oh, nice one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because we just did the other M power.
Well, we look. To be fair, look at the Safavids icon and look at the Mughals icon. Okay.
Yeah, one of them is Safavids, the other one is Mughals. There we are. That wasn't too difficult.
I hate you. Anyway, Mughals 6 dots nowadays
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this power.
to
Does
win
that help?
40 dots. Yet to see it. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
It's not
seen
actually
a
been
few
that
strong Mughal
close.
positions.
I've seen, yeah, but like 25 centers, right?
Yeah,
And it's like you need 40 because you start with 6 dots. But I don't feel like you get 6 dots worth of value from some of these cores. That's just like kind of
yeah,
how I feel about it. I think you're too strong. Like the issue with Mughals, like way back, was that Mughals are too strong. England, Portugal's forced in India because if you don't play England, Portugal, you're gonna die. And nowadays, it's you have to play England, Portugal. If you don't play England, Portugal, in India, you are trolling. and you'll just die. And any game that they don't play, England, Portugal, they die, and Mughals takes India.
So to be clear, there have been some Mughals Portugal's games, like Mughal England. Eh.
Yeah, fine. Mughals, yeah, but with the 6 dots in the latest patches, there'd be Mughal Portugal.
B2G, there was the semblance of Mughals England, and it went very badly for
Bro,
Mughals in the end.
Mughals England. Mughals. The thing is,
Yeah.
like with how the dots are laid out, you can clearly see where Portugal's growing and like the dots. But Mughals England, like Mughals are so incentivized to hit England. India is
I
very
wonder if you could ever play
unbalanced.
like a really like cursed triple on the subcontinent with the logic that Mughals can just win by playing a trillion armies north, and England and Portugal don't really want to do that. Like they can't. Like obviously winning India is great, but the other colonials should never let you win India, and both kind of have a reason just to spam out fleets. Like we've never seen it. This is just
Yeah.
pure hypothetical. I wonder if that would ever be like a fun way to try and play the subcontinent, because I think Mughals especially overplay it. There is an
Yeah.
argument that EP do as well. Like Portugal wants fleets banging out towards Ajuuraan and Safavids and whatever. England kind of just wants to control the Dutch and really just wants to play an India game, and that
Well,
doesn't have to be with armies.
I think I've played Mughals well. I've played them 3 times now, and I think that it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy because Mughals want to play south because obviously you're winning India. It's so massive for the Mughals. But by playing south, I think you're forcing the EP. I think you can play Mughals England or Mughals Portugal, but Mughals almost has to like act as a colonial in the region. Like they have 2 cores. Like you're not sending SAS from south. Like if you're playing
Hmm.
too hard south, then the colonials can't justify working with you because after you kill the other one, then
Yeah, and you just
you're
die in the
too strong,
north.
right? I think if a Mughal like really lightly plays to the south, and then you're playing like a Mughals Portugal, I like it quite a lot.
Hmm. So the power, dude. I haven't seen many good players play Mughals recently.
Safavids is hard to kill. EP is super common.
I killing IU is not easy,
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot
and
of good Mughals going to Ming. Obviously, like they get
yeah,
really
and then
popular into Ming.
how have you seen them deal with the strong Qing or Toku or IU or
Well,
Inuit or even
yeah,
fucking Russia? Like anyone can be on the other side of that dead power, and it's not so clear as Mughals how you deal with that and play the
yeah,
South
I
and
agree.
control the Safavid relationship.
I just think 40 dots, like the
And
cores aren't.
40 dots in Central Asia is just like, yeah, I
Yeah,
could just feel the misery seeping into my soul. If Safavids
yeah.
can't hit 36 playing Central Asia, what the fuck is Mughals meant to do with no Caspian fleet?
Like you get fleets out into INO and stuff.
Which forces you to play a South, so then
Well,
colonials should never work with you if you want to
yeah,
win the game.
right, yeah. I agree.
I
I
think
almost
this
think
power is worse than Ming.
I almost think D tier, though it starts with 6.
D
No,
tier.
I think C. I think C. It's not as bad as Kongo.
Yeah, I think C tier. Like I'm kind of
Look, bro,
basically I'm weighing it up from the point of view of considering I like trying to win. If I got randomly assigned a power, how would I feel about Congo? How would I feel about Mughals? I'd rather have Mughals.
yes. Though I think
It's not that wide a
Ming better
margin.
than Mughals. I disagree.
I would be excited to play a Ming game because I like
Yeah,
this.
that's
I've
because they're more
seen this power have
interesting.
so much potential.
Yeah, okay. They have potential. Fair enough. Netherlands.
This is an S tier power, and like you can say that oh, Netherlands is not an S tier power. Like even if you just look at the win rates of powers, Netherlands, like all the other colonials,
But it's a
it
colonial.
goes way above its quarter.
Yes, and Netherlands was really good, but I think that
It
every patch they
still
get to was
is,
worse.
still wins games.
Look, I've
There was a
like
Netherlands recently that
I
hit
played like 4
61 dots or
Netherlands
some
games.
shit with no Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Like,
No, Netherlands it's a strong power. Like it is a really strong power, but you have to be so
I am
precise.
95% confident if you put me on the Netherlands in a normal wave game, I would win the game.
I disagree.
And I think,
Because what England, France decide it's EF, you lose.
yeah, but you don't let that happen.
But how do you
And by the way,
how
like,
do you
that,
not you don't let that happen? Like What do you do?
Okay, assuming like players aren't just killing you for the name,
Mm.
England, France can just kill you, you die, yeah. But if you play if you play NFP, sorry, NSP, right, like with Spain and Portugal, which is kind of a natural response to an EF, by the way, like the colonials should all band together to kill the EF because if they don't, they all die. Then,
But you've already
yeah,
lost
you
Europe.
could,
There's no way to hold Europe. It doesn't matter what colonials are doing.
yeah. So I genuinely don't think it matters. Like, I think obviously you don't want to lose Europe because then how do you win the game? But like,
We're talking about how do you win the
if you
game,
literally
but you can't win the game without the capital.
if you literally just say fuck it, we ball, I'm just going to play the fuck out of my other colonies and I'm going to win them and I'm going to win them so hard you can't cut me. Like, it's viable. I like at the end of the day,
I think, yeah,
good luck
okay.
cutting
I
a
think it's
70
viable.
center Netherlands. Like, you can try.
Well,
It's maybe you can
I
do
kind
it.
of disagree actually, because I think the Netherlands is probably one of the easiest colonials to knock down. I guess depending where you're making your millions, but
Yeah, way it's strong though.
like SAO
And
is
which regionals are
NAO.
benefiting.
Yeah.
But my point I still think my point stands. I've seen many strong Netherlands over the recent patches. Netherlands have gone on to
Have you? Have you?
win.
Late
Yeah,
in the
I have.
patch.
A B2A, strong Netherlands. Didn't win the game, but easily could have. They blundered the game by
B2A.
meme tapping a neutral tile instead of bring it up on the screen because this was fucking gutting.
Okay, I'm not in the game.
They it's doing post. The they meme tapped a tile to fulfill like something funny, like a reference to a Diplostrats video. The impunity was denied by zero point 0.5% over the next highest, and then somebody lower down voted no to the surrender. One out of like everybody else.
Okay, okay.
G-
One Dutch one time nearly won but dropped the ball. Like, yeah, there's always going to be good games.
It's not just one, by the way. Like,
Yeah, I
what
know there's
about
lots of good Dutch games.
B2G, which is a game where I am having a miserable time? Very strong Netherlands.
Look, my point
Maybe
is
they
more
won't win
this.
the game.
Netherlands, in Africa, they die to Congo a lot. Congo,
Play Dutch
decently.
Congo.
Okay, sure, fine. We're playing Dutch Congo. There you can have a decent game. I agree that Dutch Congo is good. Strong Ayutthaya.
I think strong Ayutthaya is a skill issue.
I, I mean, okay. Well, yeah, but how so?
Because why would Spain work with IU to kill you, realistically? Force them to regional, you don't really want to give them all of that space and power in a region as a colonial when you have less cores than they do. So therefore, you're playing Spain Netherlands. Therefore, you kick IU out of Sambas or whatever it is in year two,
Yeah,
and then
which is easy.
basically choose when to kill him. Like you don't need to do anything as Netherlands. You can just sort of sit there and wait, holding them off until you're done with Portugal, and maybe play a Spain stab, or maybe go kill Ayutthaya, or maybe just take Australia, or maybe go into INO.
I don't agree that you can sit there and wait. I don't know. Well, like, I agree
If
with all these
IU is
things.
being
You're saying, like,
suffocated in the
just.
south, it's very hard for
You
them to
have
do
to do all
anything.
these things, though. You have to play all of these dynamics correctly.
Yeah, you have
Like,
to
with
play a
the
good
Congo.
game, but I feel like if you're a good player, it's definitely doable.
Yeah, it's doable. I think it's a good power. I just think it's hard. I think they blow up a lot.
I don't think. Sorry, I 100% agree with you. The Netherlands are the hardest colonial to play by a wide margin,
Yeah, I think they're
and
the
I think
hardest
they're
power.
harder than a lot of the A tier powers. I think they're a difficult power, but difficult does not mean bad. I think the power is still incredibly good. It is still a colonial, still punches way above its weight. In my opinion, has to be an S tier.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's S tier. Right? All the colonials are S tier. It's a really good power. Um, to be honest, I agree. I just think it's. I think it's very difficult. I don't think even strong players aren't perfect. You can mess up some of your dynamics like really easily,
Yep,
and if you do that, you die. And sometimes you can't control all the dynamics even with perfect press.
yep, I agree with that.
But yeah, I agree.
Um,
S tier. I think it's very strong. I think it is the weakest colonial.
I agree with you. It's the weakest colonial.
Yeah, but
Just because of how common EF is in normal wave games.
EF is fuego. Right, Ottomans then.
Um, Ottomans is like the Netherlands of every other power on the board. So like, stupid ass sentence,
Yeah,
but
well,
like, if you group the colonials all together, these are the colonials. When you group all the other ones together, these are the other powers.
hmm.
The Ottomans are, in my opinion, quite a difficult power to play. but I think they have so much leverage and control over the board that it's hard to argue they're not S tier.
S tier.
100%.
Do you think the Med is Ottoman favored?
I don't think you should play the
uh, I
Med.
think,
So, okay, I think you
yeah.
can and win it and do very well out of it, and we've seen many do very well. In my Ottomans game, which I didn't win, so fair enough. Um, my big like break was breaking Russia and Europe. I think it's a power that has so much flexibility in who to work with. Literally pick a neighbor out of all of your starting neighbors, you can work with them. And there isn't a power where that's not the case, including Ottoman Spain.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I think sometimes,
you,
like, if you're not playing the Med, right, you're leaving Spanish B or whatever, and they're building a fleet in Naples in year two, and it's
yeah, but like
like,
Austria,
and like,
Naples,
but if Spain are
or
building fleets in the Med,
you do the Tunis Naples trade. It's kind of a bit weird to do. I would never do that trade, but like if you do, then it's fine.
yeah, I mean, I
Austria
really
Crusher's
like
quite
Poland.
nice.
I really like
Austria
Poland
Posse.
Ottomans. I think it's that's really nice.
Austria Ottomans is also very good. For both powers in the sort of like early game. Obviously, you need to watch your Austria because they will need to stab you to play the game. But like,
Hmm.
don't let that happen. And then it's kind of like Austria sitting on 16 dots and you're just under them like a shark.
Yeah, I remember the
Um,
Blitz.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Um, Ottomans Russia, I think, by the way, is the strongest possible relationship for Ottomans, and it just never gets played for some fucking reason. Um, I think Ottoman Safavids is a very strong, hard to justify for Safavids as a long-term winning alliance, but fuck it, new CTAR changes definitely can be done. All of the African regionals can work with Ottomans,
Yeah, I'm not.
maybe
To
with
be
the
honest, I'm
exception of
not sure what
Abyssinia,
I
but like
think, but I just don't feel like they're S tier because I don't
they
think
have
they
so
win
many
enough
wins.
games, do they?
They do, yeah.
They have quite a lot, but
I feel like Ottomans are like Ming, but without like the problems in the start. Like, yeah, you can die at the beginning as Ottomans, but you gotta bugger it up. Like, you really have to bugger it up.
and
Like,
you
you gotta
try to
not
bugger
bounce Red
yours up,
Sea.
you know.
Yeah, I went +5 as
Yeah.
Ottomans in year one and still had a decent game. Like,
I just
got
think
cut by a
Med
Portugal throw.
is.
It's
I think
like,
Med is quite Spanish favored. Um,
yeah, but I
I
don't
think
think
the
like it depends what you define as a med, because like I don't think you need to do anything. Like you can just sit there in Ionian and Tripoli
yeah, but
and then
Spain are
maybe
in what?
Naples.
Spain are in Balearia, Sardinia, and then they're building Fleet Valencia, Barcelona, whatever. You just lose Tunis, and from there,
Yeah,
getting an
and you
army into
lose one
Chamba,
dot.
you're losing Tripoli.
Yeah, but you can build an army in Tripoli and then just put it in Chamba, and then they can't dislodge it very easily without building a shit ton of armies. And then, okay, you're going to say if Spain dedicates like 10 builds to it, then yeah, I agree with you. But realistically, not only can you get the jump on them first with army builds, and let's say you build army Tripoli end of year one, you tell it also obviously this is the Hogar walk unit, right? Like to go down and play your West African position, which
Yeah,
by the way, you just have a West African position. And then you just walk Chamba, and suddenly you've just got this crazy position on Rabat, Tangier, creates all this Portugal Spain tension. Like
yeah,
the
no, yeah, I agree. Safavids are hard to kill. Abyssinia's
if you
like Abyssinia's kind of hard to kill. I don't know.
can kill Abyssinia,
Right.
like you could just kill them with a Cairo Mecca
To be fair,
build
you've
and
played
tap.
Ottomans. I haven't. I'm not actually sure how I feel about Ottomans as a power. I've never really looked into it, but I'm happy to go with you on this one.
I think it's just like it's a 10 dot start. Like it is the next best thing to a colonial, and they are one giant consolidated blob. Yes, they're a consolidated blob in the middle of a bunch of high tension areas.
They don't really feel like a consolidated blob.
I disagree. Your unit line can literally go around your entire country. Very few powers, like none of the colonials can really ever do that, with the exception of that one Portugal game.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Next up is Poland. Fun
I
power.
don't know how to feel about Poland.
They have a win every wave,
Yeah,
but also die quite a lot.
yeah.
I guess a bit
Um,
like Ming in that respect. Sweden is quite strong now. I think Sweden used to be really bad, but now Sweden feels
yeah.
like an actual power. And
Yeah, and that's a problem for Poland, especially because we've still yet to see a good Poland-Sweden.
yeah, I don't think we have the
And
Inuits.
there are dynamics outside of your control as Poland. Sweden-Russia, how do you play against Sweden-Russia? EF, FC, SF, anything in the colonies kind of goes badly for you. FP kind of miserable.
Yeah, FP miserable. I think the colonies are
Austria,
both really
Ottomans.
strong. I think the changes were
Yeah, I
were
think the
kind of
colonies are
shit.
very strong.
I don't like the West
Uh,
Africa dynamics anymore post changes. It feels so bad because you can
Dynamics always felt
progress and
bad
not.
for. Yeah, it's always felt bad for
No, but now
Poland.
you can bounce spring and then go to Gen 4, which you could never do
Yeah,
before.
which feels good until you realize that France is just in Darkaroo in spring
Yeah,
'02.
exactly. And
Like, if
then
you ever move your unit, then what are you meant to do? And then you have to protect Gen from EF, and it's like.
mhm. Caribbean's
So yeah, I can't
slower.
separate it from my perception of my Poland game, where I felt like a lot of dynamics very much were out of my control. I think if you put me on that power in a normal wave game, I think I'd perform a lot stronger,
Yeah, I played Poland in normal wave game, and I
and you
won.
won.
And I thought,
Yeah, it was a good win. You very much ran the board. So
hmm
it's hard for me to say that anywhere like this is not a B tier power. Realistically, 7 dot start. I think if I was given a random power in a random imp dip game, if I received Inuit, I'd be very happy. If I received Poland, I'd be pretty happy.
I think it's A tier.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think you have like issues finding VSCC per se, unless you lose your colonies and then what is it,
I mean,
42 in Europe?
yeah,
It's hard.
it's not easy, but like, obviously, don't full lose your colonies. But even if you
Yeah,
don't, I think it's still possible.
yeah. Portugal.
This is an S tier power, and I don't even think it's
Power's
worth talking about.
disgusting. I mean,
I,
yeah,
I I genuinely just think we just put it in S tier. Like we could talk about it at length during the Portugal video.
it's a
Power's
colonial. It's
disgusting.
connected. It's disgusting. It's hard to
Should we
claim.
order the
It's
tiers by
horrible.
relative strength of powers?
Yeah, should we?
Um,
Bornu. It's got to be top of
oh,
S tier.
hyper S tier because I've never seen them lose a game.
True.
Um,
Okay, and then what we
Portugal.
have? Oh, we haven't done all the powers.
Actually, maybe we do this at the end, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
let's do
Qing.
the last one. Qing. This is a power that I cannot speak confidently about because my perception of Qing is warped by the fact that they were one of the worst powers on the board up until the like changes in the two wave, like the wave for beta two. Um, Power, in my opinion, should be killed on sight by all of their neighbors, but like in a normal wave game, people don't play like that because they don't really know what they're doing. And then it's like, well, yeah, if Qing gets the 12, 13 center position with a dead Toku because they're able to build two fleets on Oriental, then yeah, Qing is a very strong power. If that happens,
But I think they're quite defensible. Um, Toku's quite a lot weaker. Well, a decent amount weaker. You see these Kyushu
I
crushers
agree.
are quite common.
Kyushu Crusher and now also like this stuff where they're just building. Qing can build fleets into Oriental, put
Bro,
so much pressure on the Toku
as
position.
as a Toku are getting two fleets, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before Qing was never really getting naval supremacy if Toku's having a half decent game and it's like, hold up, why are you building fleets? But when you can build two
Yeah.
in one phase, it's
Yeah.
you don't really
It's tough.
you just stab it and it's fine. Ming's like relatively weak, they blow up a lot, you know.
Yeah. But by the way, like a lot of the time, Qing Ming, you just 7 fleets in your face, you lose, and it's like
Yeah.
as Toku. We're talking about Qing here, and at the end of the day, I think modern Qing is a very reasonable power. Would
I
I
really like the
say that
challenges.
they see it? Like I can't in good faith put them below Ming, right? But
You can't as well,
like
like if you
it
just
has
leave
to be
Qing
above
alone,
Ming.
if you leave Qing alone, they've just beat Russia. And I've seen it happen so many times where like
Yeah,
whatever's happening in East Asia and then just on the side Qing are beating Russia and you turn around and suddenly they just
it'll
have
kill
five more
Inuit, kill
dots.
Russia, and then yeah,
It's just like, oh.
and also like all of the things I said about Ming, where it's like, yeah, this power is so good if it goes well. Qing is also so good if it goes well. I think worse than Ming slightly, but like not by
Yeah,
much.
I think you get Toku griefed, and as someone who's played the Dutch and I had a really successful Southeast Asia, like I had Edo, Osaka, Kyushu, like I had all these dots, but then as
Yeah.
part of killing Toku, there was a strong Qing, and it's like, well, now
How do
did
I
you
hold
lose?
this?
You
Yeah,
just can't hold it. It's just not holdable at all. And yeah, I think it's really strong power. I think they get the better of the career dynamics as well.
I agree. Yeah.
By the way, prequel Pyongyang, they literally built it. They can build 3 East Coast fleets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a nice prequel for them, by the way. Like it's a classic like prequel that just gives them so much
Mm,
control over their game.
yeah. All right. Um, I
Like
kind
it's
of
got
think
to
they're A
be
tier. Do I?
A tier. I think they're
No,
the top of B.
I think they're high B. Yeah. Can't put them above like
Ajuuraan.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Russia.
I can't speak about this power.
I've also never played a Russia game.
Well, I have, and I can't speak about this power
Okay.
because okay, I played a Russia game. I guess I still am. I've got 2 dots. Actually, I think it's 1 now. And uh, without speaking too much about the ongoing game,
Yes.
in fact, I really shouldn't talk about it at all.
Okay.
But it
I'll talk
did
about it
feel
then.
like a lot of the game was outside of my control.
Because remember, we're talking about like if a good player was playing it, right? So we can't. Your game's not even applicable anyway, right? So
Not relevant.
not
Yeah,
relevant,
no,
right? So if you have an
that's fair.
actually
My
decent
bad. I don't know why I
player,
brought it up.
yeah. Um,
How many Russia wins have you seen in
yeah.
recent times?
Yeah. The thing is, you have a strong Qing, right? Which means your east is really hard to play. Playing south, like you have a corner position, right? But Safavids loves to hit you. You're both
Hmm.
like
They
you're
would hit
balancing
you for free.
Caspian, like they hit you whatever. They take Kiev, they take Turkestan. It's just like
Yeah.
it's so simple for them to do it, and they really need to be able
Ottomans
to
can
advance the
build
game.
2 fleets into fucking Black Sea because they can build fleet Treb, fleet Con. You can only build
Mm,
one, so that means you can lose the
yeah,
Black Sea mathematically.
and you're never building that Chisarai. Like it's a prequel, but
Yeah.
how are you clearing it? And you're just not. I think
Poland Russia does seem good. What if Poland doesn't want to play Poland Russia?
I like Sweden. I like Sweden, Russia too. I think Russia has the
Me
most play
too.
over here. I think it's because
Yeah.
also like Poland and Sweden fight so much because they can't win. They
Yeah.
can't realistically win together. So I think you have a lot of press angles. The lines into
Yeah.
Ochakiv, Kiev, but Chisarai.
But what if
I
they
can
do just play Poland Sweden, try and kill you early so they can play Poland Sweden? Like this also
well,
happens.
yeah, but I think that's a bit of a skill issue because you're like, well, it's not a long
Yeah,
term by
valid,
letting them get strong.
valid.
I think they lose out the North versus England a decent amount
Yeah.
of the time because like how
Or if England is weak, then Sweden has 4 fleets on the other side.
yeah,
But
it's hard
okay,
to build
maybe
fleet
every now and then you
armies.
get the fleets out.
Yeah,
Thing is, like you're never like you can, but you're almost never doubling year 1. You can get
no,
Ming Qinged in fucking East Asia. Dude, I can't put this
a
power
good,
in the
a
fucking
good,
B tier.
a good, a good Russia position looks so good.
It does. But
If you play
even
your
then, it's
press
hard to win.
well,
Like, I don't. Do you remember the Flair and Horde game? That was a winning Russia,
yeah,
right? But Russia won that game on 42 dots. The last, like, they got surrendered to, right? With the rest of us.
mm.
Those last 2 dots were a ball ache for them to find if they had to play out the year, and they were probably getting cut.
Yeah, but
Like,
what
even
weren't they playing it for
strong
like
Russias.
Edinburgh or something? Or am I thinking of the
Yeah,
wrong
no,
one?
they had, like, it was such a crazy position.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
like,
yeah, I think like getting down
realistically,
into Bandar Abbas, like past that, you're not making progress. Like past Delhi, it is tough. But I think there is enough
like, okay,
dots.
would you rather, of all the 7 center powers, or 8 centers, I don't know what Russia
Yeah,
is, you'd rather have the other 2.
yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Would you rather have most of the 5 centers? And I think the answer is yes. Like, I would rather be playing an Ajuuraan game than a Russia game.
I agree, but yeah, I agree. No, I think this power is bad. I think it's hard to deny that. I think they're Mughals-esque. Like I wouldn't ever put them below C tier.
I agree.
I'm happy with them in C tier.
Who do we have next? So
Uh,
I guess we're just skipping one we don't know and on to
the
Safavid,
Safavids.
which is a power that I've changed my mind a lot on from when I thought they were really bad. I think a few things have changed. The map's changed a lot for them.
Did you watch my Safavid video?
I I did.
Okay. Did you disagree?
I think this power's quite good. I think the power's
I think
quite
that
good.
I think it's really I think it's quite good against a 25 centers.
I I think modern Safavids is different. Okay, to be clear, I think that for the average player, it's very hard to win.
A
But
good player.
did you know another Safavid position has won recently?
I did not.
That's because I think technically they haven't, but they did hit VSCC at 37,
Yeah.
and then they're getting no voted on by a Toku right now.
Wow,
Um,
that's like classic. I lost my Safavid game to a Toku.
yeah,
Someone threw to them. Like, not sure what happened there.
like, dude, I think this power, like, if I went +2 in a Blitz game on this power in year one and still got a position, you basically could always generate a position with just good tactical play and good working with dynamics. And then once you got a position, like, sky's the limit. I mean, yeah, you have geographical limitations, but like I've seen so many strong Safavid positions generated by strong players.
I agree. I think Safavid is actually a really strong power to get. I think winning is maybe a slightly different story, but your south looks really good. You can pretty much just crush Portugal most times, 9 times out of 10. Like your early growth is just so nice. Like north, like Khiva, Turkestan, even like Debont, Tif. Like it doesn't matter which direction you're going, you
Like the
have
skill ceiling on
growth.
Safavids is not can you grow. For me, the skill ceiling is can you press the dynamics out around the board, right? To make sure that by the time you're colliding with these powers on the other sides of the ones that you're killing, so like post Russia, is there a weak Sweden? You want a weak Sweden, but is Poland too strong? You need a weak Poland as well. If you can balance this stuff out with info control, knowing when to hit the powers you're hitting, like
Yeah, to be fair, I that's pretty much what I said in the Safavid video. To be fair, like I think it is a big issue, and for most players playing it, I think it's a really big issue. But if we're talking about like a strong player here, if you do like that's where your focus needs to be, and if you're doing it well, yeah, I agree that Safavid's a strong power.
I'm not sure how much more to it there is
Yeah,
really. I think for me, this, well, I guess where to put it, but like for me, this is like if I think of Ajuuraan and Ayutthaya, and then I think Safavid.
yeah, it's a classic B tier power. Spain.
Like good power, can do well on, not much more to say. And then Spain is an S tier power because it's a colonial.
Yeah, it's a really connected colonial. It's a colonial.
I watched Ink solo his Spain game, B21L, or maybe I. He soloed it fairly effortlessly on a normal wave board because no one really could do anything because he just knew what he was doing and they didn't. Like, power's just really strong,
I
it's
think strong power.
flexible,
I actually
many
think
ways to
Spain has
win.
issues. I would put Spain in Netherlands like territory, but just like it's harder to die because you're connected and their Europe positions are
Yeah,
also nice.
I agree. It's not an easy power to play. I think,
I think the U dynamics are quite hard.
especially, yeah, Aymara as well.
Aymara, yeah. I think those are the two big ones.
Holding the Philippines can be touch and go, and making sure your Europe isn't griefed by Austria Ottomans or France or Portugal building armies at you. But like,
Honestly, I think
dude, the
losing
fact that
Philippines is hard. Philippines is really defensible.
can I just say, like, the fact that Spain's lose to Portugal is like insane, right? Because
Yeah.
Spain starts with 4 cores and a pre-core against Portugal's 3, if you want to include Azores. How can you like? How does that get lost? How do you ever let Portugal do this to you? In theory,
Yeah.
it should be literally unlosable.
Well, yeah. I mean, Spain Portugal is nice.
Yeah, Spain Portugal is nice, but then how do you get stabbed on that?
The old two armies,
Just
but
oh, I'm just gonna walk away. Like
yeah, but the
I'm just
Spain
not
still
gonna build
push across
Tangier. I'm
as
not gonna
well.
build Canaries.
You just have an army in
Pardon?
Madrid and an army in Porto bouncing forever.
Yeah,
Position is solved, I think,
yeah, I agree.
for Spain. So yeah, um, whatever. But it's an S tier power. Like you have such good play, such good growth. Sweden then. You got much thoughts on this power?
Like there are so many things that Sweden has going for it. Like there is strong power that has been in impunity positions many times. Has had some really nice finishes. Like Sweden solo was really cool. 150% VSCC.
Yeah.
Um, but can you say that this power does not fully outrun the limitations of starting on 4 centers? And I think the answer is no, you can't.
Oh no, I think it's quite a classic full center power. It doesn't have the access to the height seas, which is really what sets some of the stronger full center powers apart. though it has a really nice position in the Baltic. I think
Yep.
it is slow. I think it's
Yeah.
still slow, but it is definitely better. It's harder to kill. You have better lines, but yeah.
Yeah. And there's dynamics outside of your control that could just get you killed. Strong England. Okay, great. You don't get the North Sea game. Good luck hitting the SEC with a strong England. Okay, maybe you do with like a super hard into Russia. Oh, oops, strong Safavid on the other side. You play Sweden Ottomans, you just zip up all of Europe together. Very classic, like double pairing. Looks really good on the map. But Ottomans usually has more armies than you just by nature of the fact that they needed to build armies to win their front and you need to build fleets to win the Baltic.
Yeah, I think you can
So
get the armies. You get the armies flowing though, like
yeah, you can, but
Meme
are
and
you going to tell me that
Angle. Like
yeah, meme and angle
shows why.
or
There's lots of examples, isn't
I
there?
mean all sorts of ones. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
there's
quite.
a few ongoing games which I'm watching that have strong Swedens with tons of armies.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
just
it's
don't
really
want to talk
sick.
about them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think like they're not a weak four center regional.
no,
I don't think anyone's saying that.
I'd say they're similar to Abyssinia.
I put them above
Maybe
Abyssinia,
stronger. Yeah, but I think they're
slightly
in.
more leverage over
I think they're
colonials.
in C.
Yeah.
We can order after. Right, Toku.
Ooh. Ask me this question before
Yeah,
the beta 2 map, and I would tell you that this is an S tier power. With the beta 2 map, it is not as good. Inarguably,
no,
like
no, it's
there
not.
are still plenty of strong Toku positions, including Toku solo runs and stuff. But like, are you going to tell me that this is not old Toku?
No,
And also, I think Toku's still stuck with a lot of the lingering effects of old Toku. It's like people are like, oh, I got to kill Tokugawa now. It's like maybe you do still want to kill him, but like not because of the power.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree. I mean, I can't talk, obviously ongoing and all, but I am getting my ass handed to me on this power. And it's tough. Like Chongqing, you got the colonials to your south, who yeah, you can push out. You have more fleets, but it's not so clear, right? Spain Netherlands is supernatural, and if it is Spain Netherlands, you do struggle to make progress.
Inuit Qing, Inuit playing
Yeah,
anything, Qing building fleets into
Inuit
you,
play the game.
Ming playing for Kyushu.
Spain, by the way, it's such like Spain can so easily put two fleets in MPO. Like
Yeah,
they literally do it for
the,
free.
the
It's
Hawaii unit comes out and maybe Zamboanga or some shit.
yeah,
Anything rotates into MPO, maybe the Manila build.
just like randomly lose
Netherlands,
Edo every other phase. It's like yeah,
yeah. Um, but
but
obviously,
like
if you get the dream set up, get some Korea control, get the
oh yeah,
Southern Islands. Like yes,
I mean they have
Toku
the high
because
sea
of
access.
access to MPO alone means that this power can never be considered like the other four center regionals in C tier. Um, and in
Yes,
my opinion, even B tier is probably still too low. I think a strong player on Tokugawa still have a good game. I think
yeah, I agree.
maybe like
I'm
I
happy to
want to
put it in
still
H
say they're
tier.
stronger than Qing because a good Toku game just is easier than a good Qing game. Like you
Yeah,
just do all the things that Qing does, but also you have like more
yeah,
access to the sea, right? Like you're still playing China Control.
yeah. I'm happy with A tier. Guarani. I've never really played South America. I mean, I've played the Portugal and the Dutch, but never
Every time I
played
played it, I've hated
regionals.
it.
Really?
Dude,
I think
Guarani
it looks quite.
sucks.
I think it looks quite good.
Guarani sucks. Uh, I can think. I've seen good Guarani games. I know they exist. I was the victim of one of them.
Yeah, I mean they have nice SAO.
Guarani sucks.
Like they have like it's a dot dense area. The dot chains are good. They have SAO access. I think
By the way,
the
we
issue
never spoke
is
about Aymara.
no. I'm yeah. Aymara also didn't. This is an old tier list. I'll get it up in a sec. But Guarani, yeah, you have a strong Portugal problem. Mapuche is a strong power, and yeah, it is definitely easy to blow up on them.
And by the way, like even if you get like a good position, you were just playing Mapuche but worse. And then it's like, yeah, I mean, like I'm not saying it's not impossible. Like you can do stuff, but by the way, there's so many. Like, I'm sorry, no, this power fucking sucks. This power is Kongo tier, maybe below. Like even if you get the start, which by the way, not fucking 100% guaranteed because shenanigans still happen, uh, especially around the south with Mapuche dynamics, your O2 very rough, kind of out of your control. Assuming that Aymara plays competently, doesn't grief you, um, Portugal really should. No real reason for Portugal to play Portugal Guarani. Even if they do, how do you kill Mapuche? Good luck with that. Okay, you don't kill Mapuche. You kill Aymara with Mapuche, and it's like, well, suddenly my units are walking across Mapuche to kill Aymara, and then Mapuche's just under me, and they're a corner power, and also I've got this colonial to my north, but I don't have any leverage over. Power fucking sucks. In my opinion, almost unplayable, if not for the fact that I think a strong player would be able to make it work in a normal wave game sometimes.
Yeah, I think the saving grace is that Guarani Aymara it seems quite nice to both. You just mop up Mapuche, the
My
south
opinion,
lines.
forced. By the way, even
Argu
Guarani
Arguably,
Aymara, like,
yeah.
mopping up Mapuche, that's kind of hard.
Well, I don't know. You put fleet into Nazca Ridge, you're taking what? But yeah,
If you
you
get the
just get
fleet to Nazca Ridge,
you
which
just
they
get the
should never let you
armies.
do. Yeah, then they can just barricade it off with like 3 guys. Like the geography is actually disgusting if you ever run a tactical analysis on it. You have to get fleets into the high seas to outflank, which is easier said than done for these powers, but struggle to afford to do that.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Also, I think the Portugal dynamic's pretty miserable.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Oh,
I,
so
I
D tier?
yeah, Congo tier. Kind of ironically for the same reason as Congo.
Yeah, it's the
They're
Congo of South
they're the
America.
worst regional in the triple. Next to Portugal. Like
Yeah.
that is basically it. Like, what more do you need to say?
Yeah. Ute-Shoshone.
Dude, I like this power.
Yeah, it's fun, and I think it's good.
I think Ute is a power that wins often. I think his wins are usually pretty generic, but they can do interesting things. Um, I don't really know how much there is to say. Like,
Yeah, I like their
for the five
alliances with everyone.
centers,
Like you can play Ute Spain is nice. Ute Inuit's really nice. I think Ute-Pasca's it's
seen,
it's playable, right? I think it
yeah,
might be. I think you probably have to
provably.
stab it at some point. Yeah, but those were psychopaths.
Um, Ute England or Ute France in the end game is usually a holdable stalemate line where you both go seek the SCC. Ute can play a bunch of weird positions,
You can
including
like the
some
GPL
Caribbean
access is
games.
super good. GPL's like
Yeah,
really good. I mean Caribbean's bait, but yeah. Obviously they did it in the Pumpkin Cup. Yeah,
I've seen it in
NPO
a few games.
access. NPO
I
is
mean, you say Pumpkin Cup played SAO, like, dude, like, they had like a position all the way down Chile. It's like,
wasn't a real game. It can't hurt you. Me even. Yeah, I don't think there's
they
so
have
much to
things like
say.
the
It
Election
seems like
Walk.
they have like all the makings. I think they have all the makings of a great 5 center start and a great power. They have like good access to like lots of dot dense areas.
Access to the high
GPL like
seas.
high seas. This high tower is really good. I think they beat Spain if Spain and you just
I
sit there hitting each other.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah because England. I think this is the best five center.
yeah. I think it's A tier. It feels like very A tier.
Yeah, I agree with you. Arguably above Toku. Although it's interesting they often
Yeah,
share the same niche of playing this MPO position.
yeah,
Actually, so does Inuit. MPO is such a good tile, man. Like,
yeah. But it's why if you see
uh,
one of those games good, you usually don't see the others.
yeah.
Aymara then is our final power.
Better than Guarani.
Well, yeah, it's better than Guarani because
Um,
being next to Spain is better than being next to Port.
yeah, and
If
Spain Aymara is genuinely like playable for the first few years.
I
In my opinion,
like
probably
it.
all the way.
Yeah,
I stabbed on it in World Conquest, but I think you can play it all the way. Um, I only stabbed on it in World Conquest because it was World Conquest. Like, if it wasn't, I would have tried to run it because it solves a lot of the positional problems to Aymara in a way that their other alliances do not. And it's also very good for Spain because it gives them a room to beat up the other colonials and play the Caribbean. I
uh,
think the
Losat's claims his power is beyond broken, but
yeah, I
he is kind of shitty
Lostats
against it.
did have a very good
He had a
Aymara game.
crazy game, yeah, no matter.
Hard to deny that it was
Poor
cinema,
P.
but
I do like Aymara. I think it's actually quite a lot better than Guarani.
by the way, just incidentally, ongoing game, won't talk about it too much. strong player, played Aymara, having a great game. I think it's definitely possible in a normal wave game to do very well on this power.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Uh,
I think it's kind of similar, sorry, to Guarani, but you just have like a few less of those issues.
But like, it's no Mapuche.
It's no Mapuche.
It sucks, man, because I've seen Aymaras win games, and I can't remember a good Mapuche game. But like, I know they exist, and I also think that I haven't seen many strong players playing Mapuche recently. Don't know why. Can I, in good faith, say that it's no Mapuche really? If I can't think of a good Mapuche game, but I can think of a good Aymara game,
It's I don't think it is
dude,
better.
I feel
Well, yeah, it is like dot dense, right? And you can really mobilize those armies. You can really like grow and snowball.
like, yeah, if you get the position, yeah, I agree.
Like, yeah. Well,
But
where
should
do we have?
Mapuche ever let you do that? You don't even have a safe 001, by the way, like unless you play the Licitano Force, but then or Huarpe Force.
Yeah, because what they like bounce or
The Licitano bounce, yeah, it's
yeah. Well, what do we have? I would say C. It is a four center. I think it's on the stronger end of like this four center like
block.
block. Yeah.
I agree.
Right then.
Top of C tier, maybe.
Should we do a
Yeah,
little bit of reordering, shuffling around?
sure. Bottom up. Austria's worse than Athapasca. I think that's fairly dead
Oh,
on.
you reckon?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I do.
Come
Well,
come on, Austria's like I know you're an Austria hater by heart, but you
okay.
do
Can
not
can we
see
be
many
can
good
we be
allies.
100% clear about that fact? Because I feel like that was one of the least true things ever said. I fucking love Austria. I think it's such an awesome and fun playthrough. So much so that I've done it many times. I think the power is super unique. I think it's got like such cool dynamics. I think it's cool fighting your way out of the box. Dude, the power fucking sucks.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I think Athens might have
To
some good
win on,
games. Yeah, to win on. D tier. I think Guarani is probably better than Kongo.
I'm willing to accept that.
Neither. You're not
I
like
think it's like a
jumping
like
for
an
joy
utter
either, are you?
battle of the shit offs.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so this is a bit more interesting.
Um,
What are your thoughts on C tier?
yeah. Starting at the top of C tier,
I like
I
Sweden
like
here.
Sweden more than Mughals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
How else have we got? We got.
that Russia, I can't talk about that power. Mughals, I think, is better than Abyssinia. I like this is very arbitrary. I feel like all of
Yeah,
these guys are the same sort of grey area of
they
like
kind of are.
these are powers you might have a game on, but
Well,
it's kind of out of your
Aymara or
control.
Abyssinia? Like, which would you prefer to draw?
Abyssinia,
I think Abyssinia. Yeah, I'm fine with this, and then Russia. You know,
yeah,
Russia blow up
fucking
guy.
garbage power. Yeah.
B tier. These are all.
Qing at the top, absolutely. I think
Yep.
no doubt in my mind. Then I honestly think the rest of these guys are in the same blob.
Yeah. I would probably want to play. Yeah, I'm kind of happy. I think I'm gonna put Ming at the bottom. It's snuck into B tier. I'll allow
I
it.
know why I know why you're doing that, and I think it's fair. But man, oh man, I do think that if
Yeah. Well, yeah, but a
I
good
think
Ming
like
game is a good Ming
if
game.
every decent player in the community played Ming for a wave, the boards would look insane.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Dude, that'd be sick actually. I'm just trying to get as many people to play this power as possible. I really want to see like the logical conclusion of Ming's current state
Well, everyone's
because I
specking.
feel like this, yeah,
Yeah.
the Ming hive mind.
Yeah.
Dude, it could be sick. A
A tier.
tier.
But by the way, I think Poland's kind of stuck into A tier a little bit.
It's kind of
It's kind of not
yeah.
that good. I don't know. Like it is. I think it's at the
I think
bottom.
it's about as good as current Toku. No, I think Toku's current is better. No, I
By the way, we have
is
Toku
Poland
being
better than
better than.
Qing?
By the way, is like Ayutthaya? You think Toku's better than Ayutthaya?
Yes, because IU can get fucked by blind dynamics far harder than Toku. Like
Okay.
hard NS and Mughals Ming just kind of not
Yeah.
willing to really commit. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
I don't
Just
get to play the
Poland.
game right
I
now.
I would swap Poland and Czech.
Qing, me too. Yeah, hand on heart, I think I agree.
In here, I think it's kind of. I think Inuit's.
I think Ute is above
I think
Toku. See, this is
Ute.
interesting. We have like different
Yeah.
ideas.
I
I
think
don't think
Ute.
current Toku is so good that
No, I think
Ute above Inuit. Man.
Ute of yeah, I would put. I think Ute is like if you're saying you're gonna put a solid player on the power, like percentage wise, I think
Yeah,
it's easier
okay.
to have like a
I'm
solid game. Like
willing to accept that. Willing to accept that.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
Can we knock out the garbage powers just into the bottom, just so they don't clutter it? And then, nice.
Whatever. Yeah.
I honestly don't think there is a useful discussion that can be had about the organizing of the colonials except Netherlands. Like, EFPS is like, oh, this power's better, this power's better. They are all fucking broken. Like, every single one of them, put them in a good hands of a good player, they'll have a great time. I think, like, people get really hung up on, like, well, England has this, France has this,
I'm saying like
you know.
I hate you saying this, but this is the order that I would put them in. But hey, I think maybe more interesting is Ottomans or the Dutch better, and I think the Dutch is.
Yeah, I think that is. Let's talk about Spain as well, because it's kind of
Yeah.
like I think they are fourth, but I can't like scratch my head to say why they're better than Ottomans. It's just that like they just are better than Ottomans.
Well, they're just bigger. They're bigger. They're
Yeah,
better. They blow up less.
and then Dutch or Ottomans, I would say they're literally dead equivalent. Just Soul Reed, that's like my honest view on them. Is
Yeah.
like they both can win. They're both strong because they're big. They're both harder than the other powers.
I think that I
But
think the Netherlands is harder. Like
I agree,
I
but I
think
think they
Netherlands
have
is
more
the hardest.
potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think Netherlands is probably the hardest power in the game.
Hardest power in the game.
That sounds like
I'll
a
think on it.
conversation for another
Let,
video.
yeah.
We're running about an hour and a half. So I
Okay,
think thank you very much for watching. I think that about wraps us up.
come on, do a longer ending. If you want to see more videos, blah, 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 blah.
No, you
You're
do.
so lazy.
You do.
No, I can't be bothered.